Okay, so executive working group, the purpose of the executive working group is to provide leadership for the AIR community. Our products in general are the governance document, which was initially produced before the prior interval, but it's maintained, minutes from our meetings, and manuscript endorsements. So the goals that were established for this subcommittee at the previous meeting were to hold our monthly meetings with occasional special meetings, to represent the AIR community on the TABS Board of Directors and the Finance and Audit Committee, to facilitate and promote the work of the working groups and the subcommittees through manuscript endorsements, encouraging adoption of the standards and initiatives they produce, providing letters of support for grant applications, and establishing an infrastructure for grants to fund mission critical functions for the working groups and subcommittees, and outreach and mentoring for students and other members of the AIR community, to contribute to outreach to commercial and academic partnerships to enhance the greater sharing, annotation, and standardization of AIRR-seq data, to oversee working group and subcommittee reorganizations that were ratified at the previous meeting, to update our mission statement, to develop a conflict of interest policy, and to establish one or more AIRR-C prizes. So progress on all of those points. So we did indeed hold our monthly meetings, participated in the relevant TABS meetings, reviewed and facilitated community endorsement for publications. And I list just a few here, but each of the working groups has outlined the various publications that they produced and for which we facilitated community endorsement. We facilitated the first round of proposals for funding through the TABS Initiatives Subcommittee to support mission critical activities. We oversaw the reorganization of working groups that was previously mentioned, where two working groups merged, and part of the activities of the Common Repository Working Group merged in with that effort to form the Standards Working Group. And then regarding updating our mission statement, instead of us updating our mission statement, I think TABS made some revisions to theirs that resulted in our two mission statements being very compatible and synergistic. So we ended up not needing to update our mission statement. Regarding the conflict of interest policy, that hasn't been done yet. We decided that we wanted to work from a TABS conflict of interest policy, which they are currently developing. So that activity will continue in the coming interval. Regarding prizes, a community service prize was established. NIH funding was obtained to support travel awards to this meeting. We made revisions to the governance document, which are outlined here, but I'll move through that now in the interest of time. And there's a session in the afternoon to review those in more detail. So for the coming up interval, we'll continue with the routine activities of meetings, representing on the relevant TABS boards, facilitating the work of the working groups and subcommittees. In addition, a bigger push with outreach for students and other members of the community regarding mentoring. And part of that from the previous year resulted in the mentoring session, which is today as part of this meeting, but we'll continue developing additional initiatives in that space. Continuing the outreach to commercial and academic partners, in particular with regards to sharing, annotation, and standardization of AIRR-seq data. And in that effort, there's a session chaired later today to focus on strategic planning and encouraging adoption of the community standards. So I encourage everyone to attend that. And then oversee working group and subcommittee reorganization for the coming interval. It's been proposed that a working group or subcommittee be established specifically to spearhead that strategic planning effort. And then we will develop a conflict of interest policy once the TABS policy is available. Regarding resources, it warrants mention that the executive subcommittee has purview over the finances of the AIR community, deciding how funds are allocated between different working groups and subcommittees, meetings, communications, administrative support, prizes, and other special projects. The current members of the subcommittee are Felix Braden, Christian Busa. I am currently serving as chair. Victor has been chair-elect, and I think Thursday afternoon, Victor takes on as chair, and I will become past chair. Nina has been serving as past chair, and Carnita has been serving. And aside from past chair and chair, other members will be voted on at the elections that are opening today. And that was the last slide. And doing okay on time, a couple of minutes, if there are any questions. Yes. Thanks, Lindsay. Will you explain the election process, how people can do that so they know? Yes, thank you for bringing that up. So I think there's a session specifically devoted to that, but an email will go out today, or it perhaps has already gone out. I haven't had time to look in my email, but there's an email going out today that to the full AIR community. So the voting is open for everyone, not just attendees at the meeting. And the email will provide information about who's been nominated, what the elections are, and what the voting process is, and will provide instructions for connecting through the website through which you can actually vote on the various initiatives. Yes. Will that include approval of typically the AIR community attendees? I'm not sure about virtual and in person. Typically, they would vote to approve the work of the working groups and their suggested leadership. Will that be part of the email, or will that be part of this actual meeting? Both. So people who aren't at the meeting will also have access to that, to review the documents and whatnot for approval and to vote on that. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, well then with that, we can move on to the next group.